First of 5 heat races making its way out to the Speedway. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Simpson Race Products. Again, 10 times around, 4 drivers going to advance on directly into your feature event. Lineup set to hit the track like this. Driver of the poles out of Bottom, Texas. Driver of the B-Town Automotive Canada DRC chassis number 21K. It will be Kobe Simpson. Lining up to the right of run number 1 out of Brazil, Indiana. Driver of the Brit Aero Timberlane Lumber Company. JC Kiefer Racing D&J DRC number 16. That'll be Harley Burns. Next row from the inside, it's going to be Jake Swanson. He's out of Anaheim, California. Driver of the Physical Medicine Consultant. Sinsland DRC chassis number 47. And for the 4th starting spot, it'll be Carson Garrett. He's out of Littleton, Colorado. The Altos Power Equipment, Hornbeck Concrete, Lugs Lawn Care, one-way number 15. From the 5th starting spot, it's Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Boulevard Truck Repair, Davis Brothers, Concrete Cutting Systems, Apache Transport number 39. And tonight's Honest Abe Roofing Quick Qualifier going from the 6th starting spot. He's out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Inferno Armor Lynch Machining, Lucas Oil, 78 Gilstrap Motors number 3R. That is Kevin Thomas Jr. Rylan Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana, the Speedtown Comfort Finish Line Mowing, Carbride, Etheridge Motorsports number 06, going to go for the inside of your 4th row. And next to him, Todd Hobson out of Klein, Victoria, Australia, driver the NBL Transport of Avon, Indiana. Innovative Slots, Wingo Freeland Powered, Maxim number 77. Final row from the inside, Kyle Shipley out of Phoenix, Arizona, the Cox Body Shop, Quick Tom Electric, Trainer Triple X Chassis number 4U. And your final starter set to be Max Frank, the Michigan driver, the Middle Class Motorsports, Level Performance Power, DRC Chassis, Andrew Sign Company, Don Whitney Racing, number 25. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1 of 5 tonight with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. 50 drivers on hand here for night number 1 of the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Cars Sprint Car Smackdown. I want to remind you after the races tonight, isn't it reason that you want to, well, maybe have a few during the races. Karaoke going on at the Turn 5 bar after the races, so get tuned up because Neon Moon is going to probably get destroyed a few times tonight.
By you?
Maybe.
Well, we'll just say it this way. The karaoke, the concerts, the extracurriculars are what makes the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts Sprint Car Smackdown such a fun and unique event. So if you're here, you probably already know that.
Drake York said he knows the theme song to Barney by heart.
So what now?
Barney.
Well, he's like 5, yeah.
He's going to be down there. He said he can even do the voice and go, I love you. No.
15, sorry.
16, 14, no. His mother's listening. She's loving this.
You making a tally mark of how much we talk about Drake?
I need a scroll. I don't need a piece of paper.
Booth 1, Drake 0.
Yes. And we control the mute button, which is even better.
And the scoreboard.
Problem is, we actually love the kid. That's why we terrorize him.
Toxic relationship.
Racing?
All right, well, anyway, the lights are out. 1 lap to go before the start of Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Again, Kobe Simpson and Harley Burns on the front row of this one. Jake Swanson now with Tom Eads in the 47, going to sit inside the 2nd row. Excited to see what they've got.
Set to go to green. Pass the DOS Energy start can over in turn number 4 for the drivers can fire. 10 times around, we get underway here in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Field dashing on to turns 1 and 2, and it will be Harley Burns. Burning top of the racetrack over into the top spot here. A little hop, skip, and a jump that time through turns 3 and 4. Got the car upset, but he keeps it up at the top of the field. He'll lead lap number 1.
This is some character that Harley Burns found down there in turn number 3. Looked like he was the only one who got even somewhat upset by it. Didn't really find it that time. The rest of the field going to crowd up behind him. Kevin Thomas Jr. across the nose of Briggs Danner.
Quite the battle going on between Kevin Thomas Jr. and Briggs Danner, all right there in that match, along with the 47 machine. As the driver coming out on top of that so far is going to be Kevin Thomas again. You want to be in the top 4 if you want to avoid having to race your way into the show. Top 4 is going to put you in the A. Fifth, sixth, and seventh going to put you into the Elliott's Custom Trailers of Carts semi-feature event. Right now, he is trying to take away the final transfer into the feature event here in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Thus far, unsuccessful.
Yeah, so Kevin Thomas Jr. going to have to pick off Jake Swanson if he wants to punch his ticket directly to the main event. While doing so, he's also going to have to hold off Briggs Danner, who hasn't lost sight of him just yet.
The Brit Aero number 16, Harley Burns, continues to lead the way. Carson Garrett running that second spot. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all right there, nearly nose to tail into turns 1 and 2. Aldo spread out to the back straightway. So far, Kobe Simpson, the bottom Texas Racer, holds the position. The physical medicine consultants number 47 and Jake Swanson holding on the fourth. Kevin Thomas Jr. running in fifth. Briggs Danner, Rylan Gray, Kyle Shipley, Tom Hobson, Max Frank right now running at your running order. 3 laps to go this time for Harley Burns.
Both Harley Burns and Carson Garrett thanking their lucky stars that they were able to get out ahead of this one, because that battle for third on back has been stout this entire time and not a whole lot of movement going on in it just yet. But with 1 lap to go, next time by, I suspect that there will be some moving and shaking.
Kevin Thomas Jr. patiently aggressive on the bottom side of the speedway, going to throw it in hard to turns 1 and 2. White flag coming this time, and he is running out of time if he wants to avoid running through a semi-feature event here. Up to the high side goes the 47. Down to the inside goes the 3 at the white flag now, trying to get an insurance spot. Here comes Swanson after Kobe Simpson to the back straightaway.
Kobe Simpson under fire. Kevin Thomas Jr. going to give it one more effort in turns number 3 and 4. Gets the car hooked up just a little bit sideways. Not going to get it done.
Denied at the line as Harley Burns goes on to pick up the heat race win. Carson Garrett in second. Jake Swanson, Cody Simpson ends up with the fourth and final transfer. Kevin Thomas Jr., Briggs Danner, Rylan Gray going on to your Elliott's Custom Trailers the Kart semi-feature event. Kyle Shipley, Todd Hobson, and Max Frank going on to the TrailerAlarms.com C-Main. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he's from right down the road to Brazil, Indiana, driver the Brit Aero DRC chassis, Timberland Lumber Company, Youngblood Farms, Jason Kiefer Racing, number 16. Race fans, give him a hand, Harley Burns. First time this season, Harley Burns picking up a heat race win here with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship as he will win Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Serrano Supply Heat Race number 2 set to make its way out to the Speedway next. It will be Stevie Sussex out of Tempe, Arizona on the pole here in Heat Race number 2. The Next Gen Landscaping Freeland Racing Engine DRC chassis number 77S. Driver lining up to his right is going to be Chase Stockin out of Fort Branch, Indiana. Driver the Bandit Ag LLC Davis Brothers Amsoil Day Week Meets number 5S. Next row from the inside, the 33M. That's Matt Westfall out of Pleasant Hill, Ohio. The Ray Marshall Motorsports Crestman DRC chassis entry. And to his right from the 4th starting spot, it will be Shane Cottle out of Kansas, Illinois. The Epperson Painting Incorporated M2 Bearings Earls PPG number 2E. Next row from the inside, Dason Pursley out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma. The Apache Transport Auto Strap Chalk Amsoil Beaver Stripes number 21AZ. And the driver rolling from the 6th starting spot at a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Spankins Motorsports Rider, Triple X Chassis, Telstar Technologies, Davis Brothers number 69. It's the Macho Man, Brady Bacon. Joey Amantia out of Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania, the JP Masonry Newman's Triple X Chassis number 88J will roll from the inside of row number 4, and outside of him is going to be Parker Fredrickson. He's out of Kokomo, Indiana, driving the Jockish Flowers, Kircher Power, DRC Chassis, Pack Rat Stores number 34. Final row from the inside in 00, Colin Grissom out of Anderson, Indiana, driver the Purdue Farms Claxon DRC Chassis, Burns Concrete 00. And your final starter, Hales out of Bedford, Indiana, driving the AutoCredit Airmaster Heating and AC, Megacorp Logistics, Tom Marine Sales, Midwest Down number 24M. That is Hunter Maddox. As that'll be your lineup here for Ron Supply Heat Race number 2. Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I got everyone's attention, please. We need the owner of an RV to the front office, license plate C468FY. C468FY. If that is the license plate of your RV, we need you at the front office, please. C468FY. C468FY. If that is the license plate of your RV, we need you at the front office, please.
So cars will begin to speed around to the Toyota Racing Development Pace Truck. Again, Sussex, Stockton on row number 1, Westfall, Collin, row number 2, Pursley and Bacon, row number 3, Amantia, Fredrickson, row number 4, Grissom and Maddox in row number 5. Karaoke tonight after the races, down to the Turn 5 bar. Tomorrow, the Cornhole Tournament by the stage. That'll be at 1 in the afternoon. The Flying Toasters on stage after the races. Saturday, the Riley Kids Auction and Kickball going to be on the stage at noon. They'll have Kona Ice down there from 11 to 1 as well. If you head down to Kyle Cummins Racing merchandise trailer, all benefiting the Riley Children's Foundation, you can enter to win a Burromax 750R. That drawing is going to be this weekend. So when you go down to pick up a T-shirt, get a raffle ticket as well as we're ready to go. Rana Supply Heat Race number 2 to the green. Battling side by side onto the back straightaway. Who will have the advantage? Boy, Bacon on the outside. He is spanking the cushion so far in 69 here as he's going to work top shelf. Oh, look out. We got one upside down in a big way in turns 3 and 4. That is Amantia. Joey Amantia, the driver, going for an absolutely wicked ride over in turns 3 and 4. He is right now waiting on word on the condition of the driver. As he is out of the car, race fans, Amantia walking away. Taking a vertiginous ride in that number 88 as he got way up there.
That was a huge vocabulary word.
Has to do with vertigo.
To match a huge incident for Joey Amantia. Have you ever had vertigo?
Yes, and it is miserable.
It is. I concur.
So I believe we do have a replay working here on the FloRacing broadcast. We'll get a look and see just what happened. Number 88J, I believe, going in. Looked like just tripping over and getting upside down, but that is several hard rides for Joey here over the last month or so. Yeah, just went in. I thought for a second maybe he had made contact with a 21 and tripped it, but not the case.
And so I mentioned it during Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. There is sort of some character in the racetrack down there getting into turn number 3 on that bottom middle section. It looks like that might be what Joey Amantia got into.
Toss it.
We're going to find out. Go down to Drake.
Well, I've caught up with Joey Amantia, and obviously the good news, Joey is up and out of the race car. Joey, what happened from your perspective down here in turn 3?
I think we just biked up, getting in. Like, I felt good halfway down the straightaway, and then at the last second, the left rear just picked up, and it grabbed the right front. So, I mean, I guess looking at it upside down, the bottom frame rails seem to look straight. Hopefully when they flip the car over, it's not so bad. Otherwise, we'll probably just call it a night.
And this has been kind of a rough stretch for you between Indiana Sprint Week and now Sprint Car Smackdown. And obviously the physicality of driving race cars is one thing, but when you have accidents like this repetitively, how hard is this on your body?
Oh, it's definitely hard. I mean, actually, I don't have a headache or feel any pain right now. Dave Sharpley hooks me up pretty good with a seat mold and a bunch of other safety equipment we use. So just hoping the damage isn't so bad. I thought we were going to be good there, and just ended up not being that way.
Tough break for Joey Amantia, but once again, the good news down here in turn number 4 is he is up and out of the race cars. They're starting to get this 88J out of the fence, Brian.
Thank you very much. And yeah, that is one of the issues they're having down there is she's wadded up in the catch fence a little bit. Looks like just about free.
Yeah, and it doesn't really look like there's a ton of fence damage or there will be any big significant fence repair. As you can see, they're working on freeing the car up just a little bit, and as long as too much of the catch fence doesn't go down with it, it doesn't seem like it'll be any lengthy kind of repair.
This is one of those tracks we go to that has a very good catch fence. The cable, it's tight, it's plentiful, and they take a lot of pride in this racetrack and making sure it is as safe as possible.
Well, and that catch fence takes a beating, and it holds up quite well. So, yeah, you're exactly right.
Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. So we're continuing over in turns 3 and 4. Looks like the car freed, and they will start to dangle the 88J here and get ready to take it down into the pits. So it's going to be cooling off. Well, in fact, it's already cooling off. If you have not, make your way down to the USAC merchandise trailer. Plenty of hooded sweatshirts down there waiting for you. I know that a lot of the drivers have them available as well. And, of course, Kokomo Speedway has their souvenir stand open. Event T-shirts available down there. Get them all your size, color, and design is still available.
And so if you're watching on FloRacing, there's a QR code right now on your screen that will take you directly to the USAC Gear website, so you can scroll the inventory, see what the options are. That way you're not missing too much if you're at home.
Speaking of USAC websites, that is brand new. It was redone and relaunched last week. Now, Richie putting in a lot of time into getting that website revamped, and there is a whole lot of brand new information that has been added, including driver stats that previously did not exist online.
They only existed in one man's head.
Yes, and one very big spreadsheet.
Yeah, so there are driver profiles on there now. So if you visit the USAC Racing homepage, you'll see a bunch of driver profiles, and you can click directly on that and see championships, wins, fast times, things like that. So a ton of really great information.
In fact, if you go on there right now, you would know that Brady Bacon has 509 career feature starts, 57 wins, 279 top fives, and 396 top tens. So 11% of the time he's on track, he wins. 55% of the time he's in the top 5, and 78% of his finishes in the top 10.
That's math I can't do. So
Luckily, I have a nifty spreadsheet. Ta-da!
voila.
Somebody said it was getting dark out here, and Reese said, I got you. That is a cool thing about LED lights. Back in the day, you had the salt vapor bulbs, and it would take about 20 minutes
You had to let them warm up.
to really kind of get there. Now you just go click.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. So it looks like we're just about ready to get the cars pushed back off and try to get this Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2 back underway.
Of course, remember, tonight, tomorrow, they are racing for points. Every time they're on track, they are accumulating event points. The top 8 in those combined points, they will lock directly into Saturday's feature event by way of King of the Hill.
Yeah, so that's what I had mentioned to Kevin Thomas Jr. during our Honest Abe Roofing Fast Time conversation, was that these first 2 nights, Thursday and Friday, are very important to how you shake up for Saturday night and how you're going to line up for a chance to win $30,000. So it's almost like Thursday and Friday are more pressure than Saturday itself.
100 points to be your quick qualifier, down by 1 from there. 60 points, down by 4 in heat race competition. Starting with the first non-transferring driver, 60 points down by 2 in the TrailerAlarms.com C feature event. 90 points down by 2. Starting with the first non-transfer in your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. 200 points to tonight's feature winner, and then it starts at 5, then goes to 4, 3, 2 as you work your way down the points. So again, combined, top 8, you can rest easy on Saturday morning. You don't even need to wake up and grab a NOS the first thing. You can grab that in the afternoon. Everybody else going to find themselves into heat races or qualifying races, if you want to call them, on Saturday, and they will take your best night. That'll be the one that counts. So let's say you have a really good night tonight, but you just barely miss it Friday. Not so good. Well, it's not going to count against you. So you'll be able to hold on to your best night, and they're going to snake the lineup. So they'll start with a pole. So if we have 4 races, they'll do pole position. They'll fill those. And then they will start back in heat 4 with second, and they will snake their way back, and you'll feel the front row. So this is clear as mud, I can tell.
Are you seeing the glossed over look in my eyes?
I see the glossed over look in mine. I'm explaining it.
Moral of the story, check for lineups on Saturday
Yes.
morning, because they will be calculated by Friday night at the conclusion of the feature event. So by Friday night, you're going to know where everybody's lining up for a qualifying race on Saturday, and the top 8 drivers who are locked into King of the Hill who won't have to run a heat or qualifying race.
Indeed, the moral of the story. And the story of the Maury.
That's right. So we'll try it again. Still Stevie Sussex and Chase Stockin on the front row.
Speedy going to see what he can do this time. Had a good start on round 1, round 2. Has another good start to the inside, but he's got Stock and Chase, and not as good of a start this time for Brady Bacon. Bacon last time was already up in a transfer spot when they worked into turns 3 and 4. Now sitting just outside, looking in as they come around line number 1. Stock and going to lead Sussex right there. 3 wide for the top spot. Here comes Cottle to the inside. Couldn't get it, but Sussex going to sneak back by for the race lead.
Jason Persley, another driver who did benefit from this second start. He now sits 1 spot outside of a transfer. Scratch that. He moves past Matt Westfall at the line.
Close quarters and a close slide off of turn number 2. Stock is going to retake it. They're going to go 3 wide once again. Maybe, not quite. Caution. Nope, red. We got one upside down. 24M, Hunter Maddox, the driver, upside down, exit turn number 2.
Well, Hunter's climbing out, so that is the good news.
Parker Fredrickson, the other driver, sitting over in turn number 2.
Who may or may not be able to push back off. It's hard to tell, sitting right behind that light post, so we can't really see, but he doesn't look from here like he's climbed out yet, and I'm not sure the extent of the contact there was.
So I believe we'll have a replay here in just a moment, and also Drake York down trackside.
Well, Brian, the good news from turn number 2 is Hunter Maddox is up and out of the race car while he was running for the 8th spot. Hunter, what happened from your vantage point?
There's a lot of moisture in the track right now compared to earlier. I think the cooler temperatures are going to do that all weekend, and we just got really gripped up compared to where we thought we would be, and front end came up pretty high, and I was kind of too far committed to save it. So I don't think the car's too bad. I think it's just the front end maybe, So we'll get back to the pits and see if we can get it ready to go.
Glad to see Hunter Maddox is up and out of the race car, and as you heard him say, not too much damage on the 24M. Of course, last time we were out with the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship, he won his first career heat race. Tonight, his heat race ends with a flip in turn number 2, Brian.
Thank you very much. Getting a chance to look at the replay as you were conducting the interview, and it was interesting. The 24 getting high, the car got tight on him. He picked it up on the right rear and actually picked the car up and over the front of the 34. He caught the front of the 34 with about the midpoint of his car. So kind of a good and a bad. It did avoid a lot of extra damage on the front suspension of the number 24, but still kind of took him in an out-of-control situation.
It was a bit of a catapulting situation, it looked like, from that replay. So the good news is Hunter Maddox okay. He seems optimistic about the condition of the race car. The bad news is I had him on my dirt draft.
So we're blaming you.
Well, no. So we're actually doing something kind of fun with Dirt Draft this weekend for the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts Sprint Car Smackdown. The broadcast team, that's myself, that's our producer Devin, that's Drake York in the infield, that's you, Brian Hulbert. We're playing against each other this weekend, and it's a very friendly competition, and I have quotations around friendly because if Drake beats me, it's over.
It's not going to be friendly.
So by tomorrow, we should have a pretty good idea of what our standings are. We're going to share all of that information with you tomorrow and let you know who's the smartest, and it is me. And
she has a couple of degrees, so she's not lying here.
No, but Dirt Draft, there is some luck involved. I'll say that. There is some luck involved. However, I have a pretty good lineup. I'm just going to say that. So,
hang on. So, are you using stats? Are you using intuition? Are you using gut feeling? Are you going that car's pretty?
Not pretty cars. That's not my style.
Okay.
More so.
No, I bring that up. I got a story for you.
Okay.
Shirley Roberts. Of course, if you've ever ordered a Chili Bowl ticket, you've talked to Shirley. They used to have the Chili Bowl pull back in the day. She won. Literally, she picked him off. Well, they're nice.
It's kind of my strategy. Yeah, I have. They're very personal decisions that I'm making, and I think that's fine.
Of course, I think she actually leads on. Shirley knows more than she allows people to know.
So anyway, tomorrow we're going to share with you what our lineups were tonight, how we did, who won that deal, who was the loser, and you never know. It could be me, but I doubt it. And we'll have all that for you tomorrow.
So Stevie Sussex leading as we get ready to go back to Greenfield. Going to work past the NOS Energy start can this time of the exit to number 4, Chase Stockin in the 5. Trying to keep the streak alive here. He has made all 36 feature events run during Smackdown competition. Trying to go into race number 37 as we go back to green.
Chase Stockin sitting in a pretty comfortable position right now. Gets a great run off the top side of the racetrack in turn number 2, but Shane Cottle's still going to have an advantage on the bottom side of the racetrack as they complete another lap.
If the bottom side is there, Shane Cottle will be all over it. As right now the driver that really wishes he had that first start back is Brady Bacon. He sits outside of a transfer spot, sitting in 5th, eyeing the 4th spot as we got a battle for 2nd. Continuing now, Shane Cottle working back to the inside. Stockin, the Bandit Ag number 5, in 3rd as they streak into turns 1 and 2.
So Brady Bacon still sitting one spot outside of that transfer. Has a lot of good speed down the backstretch, but to get this done, he's going to have to pass an Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car winner this year in Dason Pursley.
So Pursley thus far able to fend off the charge of the Macho Man is now. Here comes Matt Westfall into that mix. Closed up on Brady Bacon, now going to lose ground onto the back straightaway. Bacon reassessing his line. He had tried the bottom side a couple laps. Now going to go to the high side over in turns 3 and 4. Not able to keep pace so far with Dason Pursley. As up front, Stevie Sussex leads. Connell running in 2nd. Stockin, Pursley, Bacon, Westfall, Grissom, Fredrickson rounding out your field.
Dason Pursley not having to pay Brady Bacon too much mind just yet. He's got his sights focused on trying to pass the 5S of Chase Stockin, who he's been applying pressure to more and more over the last few laps.
Coming around this time, it'll be 2 to go. White flag coming. Keep an eye on that battle for the 3rd spot. Now it's in the hands of Dason Pursley. Takes the spot away, gets a little bit of insurance here as those two battle on. That allows Brady Bacon to close in, and now Chase Stockin in danger of having to race his way in. End of your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts semi-feature event. 1 to go, and he's got Brady Bacon all over him.
Chase Stockin saw the nose of the 69 that time by. Going to try to protect better this time. Brady Bacon with a great run down the backstretch.
Keep an eye on the final transfer spot as it's going to be Stevie Sussex picking up the heat race win. Bacon on the outside, going to steal away at the line. Oh my! Things getting dicey in this one. Stevie Sussex picks up the win. Shane Cottle, Dason Pursley. Final turn, final time. Brady Bacon gets the final transfer spot into the feature event. Chase Stockin. If he wants to keep the streak alive, he's going to have to do so by coming out of the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. He crosses in 5th. Westfall in 6th. Grissom, Fredrickson, Maddox, and Amanti unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes here to Tempe, Arizona, driving the Next Gen Landscaping, Freeland DRC, High Side Design number 77S. Race fans, give him a hand, Stevie Sussex. Sprint week starts off. Sussex on fire, suffers severe burns. Makes his comeback here tonight at Smackdown and starts it off with a heat race win. Not a bad way to get back in action.
Yeah, that's some pretty good redemption there for Stevie Sussex, and we're going to get to hear from him just in a little bit when Drake York does those heat race interviews. So Stevie Sussex, a really great way to return to racing. It has to be pretty uplifting, I would imagine.
Second time this season that Stevie Sussex has picked up a heat race win as we roll into TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Driver slated for the pole comes out of Arlington, Texas, in the Baldwin Fox Racing Velocity USA. Fox Paving, Boer Farms, number 5. It's going to be Anton Hernandez. Lining up next to him, Cale Drake. Drake coming to us out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. The Honest Abe Roofing, Pendleton Farms, Claxton DRC Chassis, number 2B. Max Adams, driver to Loomis, California. Driver the DRC FG3 Performance Powered Z-Max Western Speed Racing, number 63. He'll go for the inside of your second row, and outside of him, it's going to be the tall one, Trey Osborne. Osborne coming to us out of Columbus, Ohio, in the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Hidden Hoof Hollow Farms, Jeff Hill Trailer Sales, Kirchner, number 11T. Next row for the inside is going to be Mitchell Moles. Moles coming to us out of Raisin City, California, the AME Electrical, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, number 19AZ. And the driver lining up in the 6th spot is out of Rockland, California. It's Robert Ballou in the Suburban Subaru, Deaton's Waterfront Services, Berks Western Telecom, Hinchman Indy, number 12. The 92, it's Cadillac, Cody Williams out of Norco, California. Driver the GetLucasOil.com, Kistler Power, DRC Chassis, CW Designs, Lori Social Security check number 92. And lining up next to him, it will be Matt Goodnight. Goodnight out of Winchester, Indiana. Driver the Lumber and Things, Pallet Builder, Square E Farms, Claxton DRC number 39G. Final row for the inside, it's going to be David Gasparis out of Santa Barbara, California. Driving the Ray Automotive, Little Whippersnappers Daycare and Preschool, DRC number 04. And your final starter comes to you out of Santa Rosa, California. Driving the Lawson Rock and Oil, Hutchinson Power, DRC. Sonoma Paint Center number 1, that is Nate Shank. That'll be your lineup for TJ Ford's heat race number 3 of 5. Here on night number 1 of the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts Sprint Car Smackdown here at Kokomo Speedway.
Did I hear you say, as a sponsor for Cody Williams, Lori's Social Security check?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I even have the picture to prove it.
I hope Lori has a retirement fund.
Well, she's one of the owners, her and Tom.
I know.
Just giving back what the government took. Driver they call Cadillac, currently 6 at Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA standings. This will be his first attempt here at Smackdown, and it has been a while since the Moose Racing number 92 has been on track, and that car is the stuff of legend out on the West Coast.
Yeah, one of those legendary ones that it's very recognizable. It's pretty iconic on the West Coast for the CRA ranks.
If I think of West Coast sprint car racing with a lot of history that that car and Ron Chafin's car that Richard Griffin drove for all those years, those are the two that come to mind. Set to go to green. Pass the NOS Energy start can. The field will fire, and we're underway. Anton Hernandez is going to streak up into the race lead. Takes advantage of that pole starting position. Cale Drake trying to hold on to second. He is under pressure, though, as he will have Adams chasing him down to the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. Adams likewise going to have some company. Here comes the 19.
Meanwhile, Anton Hernandez beginning to step out on the field. He's running around the top side of the racetrack and gets such a great drive off the banking down in turn number 2. Anton Hernandez beginning to pull that distance between himself and second place of Cale Drake.
Looking back to the field, the Madman going to have to start getting after it here. Picked up a win earlier this season here at Kokomo during Indiana Midget Week as the 410s were on track. That was on July 3rd. 6th win of the season. Currently riding outside of a transfer spot. He's all the way back in 6th right now. So right where he started, behind the wheel of that number 12 machine. Battle for the 2nd spot. Make that the 3rd spot, excuse me. Max Adams got her all kinds of sideways there at the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. That allows Mitchell Moles to streak by, and he's going to set sights on Cale Drake here in a minute.
Mitchell Moles just turned the fastest lap of this TJ Ford heat race number 3 so far. He's reeling the top side of the racetrack, beginning to reel in the 2B of Cale Drake, as you mentioned. Now Max Adams under pressure from Trey Osborne.
Anton Hernandez continues to lead. Cale Drake, Mitchell Moles top 3 on a breakaway right now. You got Max Adams running in 4, Trey Osborne running in 5th, Robert Ballou in 6, Cody Williams running in 7th, David Gasper, Nate Shank, and Matt Goodnight currently running out your running order as we've got 4 laps remaining.
Top 3 in this one residing on the top side of the racetrack, and from there on back, sort of around the bottom though, Trey Osborne going to try to look one way around Max Adams.
Short slide to turns 1 and 2. The AME Electrical number 19 AZ right across the nose of the 2B of Cale Drake. Gives him no choice but the back end of the throttle. Takes over the second spot as they're going to come around this time. 2 to go.
Trey Osborne with a misstep in turns number 3 and 4, slides up. That lets Cody Williams and Robert Ballou by.
Trey Osborne losing some ground that time. He's going to try to make it up here as they come around to the wave with the white flag. We've got 1 to go in this one, and right now the Flying Fajita in command in 5.
Things have changed significantly for Robert Ballou, who's now only 1 spot outside of that transfer position. Just has to get by Max Adams. He's got 1 straightaway and 1 corner to do it.
Can he get it done? Keep your eye on him, as it will be the 5 of Anton Hernandez picking up the heat race win. Not quite for Robert Ballou. He's going to cross to the 5th spot. Cody Williams crossing in 6. Or Trey Osborne in 6. Cody Williams in 7. David Gasper, Nate Shank, and Matt Goodnight unofficially running out your field. So the 4 drivers moving on into your feature event. Max Adams crossing in 4th, Cale Drake in 3rd, Mitchell Moles in 2nd. And your winner comes to you out of Arlington, Texas, the Baldwin Fox Racing at PXP Racewear, Brewer Farms, Velocity USA, DRC number 5. Give him a hand, Anton Hernandez. So 3rd time this season that Anton has picked up a heat race win, as we will have Car IQ heat race number 4 coming up next. Driving to Oxnard, California, Ricky Lewis, the physical medicine consultants, Morris Farms, D Transport, J&M Racing, Massive Valley Transportation number 41. He will resign on the pole here in Car IQ heat race number 4. Lining up next to him, going to be the driver of the number 4X machine. Coming to you out of Lone Jack, Missouri, the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, Joey Arians and Power DRC chassis number 4X. That will be Braden Cromwell. Next row from the inside in 23. Coming to us out of Ludlow Falls, Ohio, the Simon Racing, Claxton DRC number 23S. That's going to be Luke Hall. And for the 4th starting spot, it'll be Justin Grant of Ione, California, the NOS Energy Drink, Bow Foundation, MPV Express, Kistler Maxim number 4. Next row from the inside, Logan Seavey. Seavey coming to us out of Sutter, California. Driver the Carrington Homes, Mountain Mechanical Contractors, Indy Power Sports, Rockwell Security, MPV Express, Indy Custom Stone, Drexel Interiors, number 57. As we look to the 6th starting spot, Cal Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana. The Avante Windows and Doors, Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, Stanton Machwin Chassis, Petty Performance Racing, number 3P. Sabin Bybent out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The Epoxy Systems International, J&D Power, Triple X Chassis, Indy Race Sports, number 98. He'll roll from the 7th starting spot. And the driver from 8th out of Gilbert, Arizona, the AME Electrical, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, Stanton Spike, number 19. That is Hayden Reinbold. Final row from the inside in 4. That'll be Braden Clark at Tipton, Indiana. The John and Cheryl Long, Kirchner DRC chassis number 4C. And your final starter is going to be Jack James. He's at Harlan, Indiana. Drove the Jim's Auto Care Chevrolet Powered Maxim. Herb Tech Manufacturing number 99. Is that your lineup here for Car IQ Heat Race number 4 of 5 here on night number 1 of your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts Sprint Car Smackdown. As I do believe Drake York with a report down trackside.
Thank you so much, Brian. One of the big stories coming out of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying was the 41 of Ricky Lewis having issues in turn number 4. It definitely was mechanical. When I was back in the pit area just before heat races started, the team kind of ran through a couple things. They were changing a mag box on the 41, and so far the car is rolling under its own power, and that's the good news. And Justin Grant, I wanted to point this out. He's rolling down the front straightaway right now in that NOS Energy Drink number 4. He's got turned up exhaust that we've recently seen in wing sprint car racing. Of course, not a totally new idea if you're a fan of the West Coast racing scene. I believe the 80s and 90s there were a lot of cars with turned up exhaust, and lately it's come to prominence with Kyle Larson and the Paul Silva cars, and most recently a lot of other national and regional teams in wing sprint car racing trying this new setup out. But as far as I know, Brian, the first time we've seen this on a non-wing sprint car in recent memory.
A very distinct sound as he was in qualifying. At one point, I thought something was wrong with the engine, and then finally realized what was going on. If you've ever been to a factory stock or a stock car race and you have somebody with 180-degree exhaust in their car, that's what it's like. You have everything goes by going, wow, and that one goes, yeah!
Yeah, so interested to see, you know, what kind of a difference it makes, if any, for Justin Grant. And perhaps it's a tactic of sorts. So we'll see.
Gotta love the head games.
There was a sway bar conspiracy at one point or another. I think that's over now.
So talk to a couple of different people in sprint car racing about that and ask, you know, usually with a longer collector, that does give you a little bit better off of the bottom end, but in this case, you're turning it into a 90, so kind of takes it out of the equation. So we'll see what it does here for him. As we go to green past the NOS Energy start cam, Ricky Lewis brings him to life in 41.
So Ricky Lewis certainly going to try to take advantage here and salvage that Honest Abe Roofing qualifying effort. Braden Cromwell, though, going to get a good run. He's down on the bottom side of the racetrack. He leads them coming out of turn number 3, but Justin Grant leads them for lap number 1.
Well, it's working for him because he just rolled by for the top spot here in the NOS Energy drink number 4. Grant going to lead to the back straightaway. Ricky Lewis, Braden Cromwell, what a wheel stand he had on the opening lap to the back straightaway. Trying to take the race lead, couldn't quite hold on to it. Now he is backsliding like Michael Jackson in this one right now, putting the moonwalk to it. He's back to 5th as Ricky Lewis holds on to 2nd. Logan Seavey running in 3rd. Kyle Cummins into the transfer spot here. He has still got Cromwell lurking to his inside. Driver coming after them now is going to be Hall in the number 23.
Kyle Cummins and Braden Cromwell narrowly avoiding contact there in turn number 4. Kyle Cummins gets it locked up a little bit. Going to have to try to make up some of that ground that he just lost on Logan Seavey.
So Justin Grant going to screen to the front straightaway here in 4. Ricky Lewis still holds on to 2nd. Logan Seavey stalking him to the inside now. Brand new look at brand new sponsors on the side of that machine here this weekend. Carrington Homes, Mountain Mechanical Contractors, Indy Power Sports, all coming on board of the number 57 as he's going to get a run to the inside. Lewis able to keep him at bay once again.
I'm seeing some reflective chrome. That's beautiful. On 57, a Logan Seavey who's trying to get by Ricky Lewis for that 2nd position. Justin Grant completely walking the dog on this one.
She looks nice, but photographers with flash, they're not going to like it as he works onto the back straightaway. They are about to have company here. Kyle Cummins closing in, going to diamond her through turns 3 and 4. A little bit of an I-30 move that time. Brings it to the inside of the 57. Couldn't quite take it away.
So Kyle Cummins looking around the bottom side of the racetrack. He gets a good run this time as Logan Seavey up on the top. He's going to try to slam the door. Kyle Cummins puts it in deep, and Logan Seavey stuck on the cushion.
Man.
He has to wait on the car.
That car got all kinds of tight. He did a great job of keeping it from hooking the cushion and taking him up into the wall. He's going to fall to 4th, though, as the Avanti windows the doors over 3 with a good run. Once again to the back straightaway. Sight set now on Ricky Lewis as your leader comes to the way with a white flag and 1 to go.
White flag's out for Justin Grant. Kyle Cummins now going to look at 2nd over Ricky Lewis. Gets by him on the bottom side of the racetrack in turns number 1 and 2. Kyle Cummins going to hold down that spot.
Justin Grant up on a lap car. Exiting turn number 4. Checkered flag going to greet him on the front straightaway. Battle for 2nd. It will be Cummins in 3. Ricky Lewis at 41 and Logan Seavey. Those 4 drivers moving on into your feature event. Luke Hall, Braden Cromwell, Hayden Reinbold going on into your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. Braden Clark, Saban Byman, and Jack James unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he's out of Ione, California. Driven the NOS Energy Drink Boat Foundation, MPV Express, Top Industries number 4. Race fans, give him a hand, Justin Grant. Kyle Cummins in 2nd, Ricky Lewis, Logan Seavey, Luke Hall, your top 5. Braden Cromwell, Hayden Reinbold, Braden Clark, Saban Byman, and Jack James unofficially rounding out your field. So Justin Grant going to join Robert Ballou with 10 heat race wins on the season. Steal it, heat race number 5. Set to make its way out to the Speedway. Driver out of Worthington, Indiana, the Midwest Dono Services, Shane Wade Enterprises, MM&R Trucking, number 66 of Jaden Rogers going to be in the pole of this one. Outside of him, another driver with an engineering degree to his name, Weston Gorham in the Second Opinion Auto Center, Stanton Maxim Chassis, Kaiser Wheels, number 71W. Next row from the inside, the legendary machine owned by Paul Hazen. Jack Hoyer behind the wheel of the Physical Medicine Consultants, U.S. Automation, Kershaw DRC Chassis, number 57H. And from the 4th starting spot, Brandon Maddox out of Terre Haute, Indiana, the Maddox Heating and Cooling, Gressman DRC Chassis entry. Next row for the inside, it will be C.J. Leary. He's out of Greenfield, Indiana, driving the Altos Power Equipment, Valvoline Hornbeck Concrete, one-way DRC Chassis, number 15X. And to his right, Zach Pretorius out of Yorktown, Indiana, the Yoke Motors, Pizza King, Harley Davidson of Indianapolis, Claxon DRC, FK, number 9Z. Next row for the inside in 5, that is going to be Austin Hawkins. He's out of Sumner, Illinois, driving the Max Performance Fuels, one-way DRC Chassis, Leary Shock Technology, BP Fab, number 5A. And to his right, from the 8th starting spot, it'll be Frankie Guarini out of San Rafael, California, driving the Z-Max, FK Indy, F&F Racing, number G3. Final row from the inside, Aaron Davis out of Windfall, Indiana, driving the TNT Auto Sales and Service, Tinslin DRC Chassis, number 11. And your final starter, Driving Pie out of Evansville, Indiana, for the Main Haven Equestrian Center. Spec DRC chassis 3.14. That is Michael Daugherty. As that'll be your lineup again for Steal It Heat Race number 5. So 4 in the books, 1 to go. Again, Jaden Rogers in the 66, slated for the pole position. Weston Gorham lining up to his right. Jack Hoyer in the 57. I mentioned West Coast sprint cars that you think about, and you know immediately who it is and the ones you think about. At 57, you think about Indiana sprint car racing, that's the one.
And so many drivers behind the wheel of that over the storied history of that race car and that race team and that car owner of Paul Hazen. So it's interesting to hear the perspectives on who you might associate with that race car, but it's always Paul Hazen nonetheless.
Brandon Maddox lining up next to him. CJ Leary, the track record holder here at the Kokomo Speedway, going to go for the inside of that 3rd row. Zach Pretorius was 5th quick in qualifying. Ergo goes to the right of run number 3 here in heat race number 5, brought to you by Steal It. Austin Hawkins, Frankie Guarini, Aaron Davis, Michael Daugherty again rounding out your lineup. You got Indiana, Illinois, Texas, and California all represented in this one.
And what an excellent Honest Abe Roofing qualifying effort for Zach Pretorius, who, as you mentioned, will start on the outside of row number 3. Has pretty much made Kokomo Speedway his local place of business in the 410 non-wing sprint car ranks, and so he's got a lot of success here, has kind of made his way, cut his teeth at this racetrack, and so beginning to see some success on the national stage at this racetrack is a really cool thing to see.
So caution lights go dark. The Toyota Racing Development pace truck going to make its way down into the infield. I hope you made your way to the merchandise trailer to sign up for the AMSOIL inside the oval, because that will be your chariot during the parade lap of tonight's feature event. Of course, you'll get to watch down in the infield as we're set to go to green. Again, Rogers, Gorham on your front row. They find the NOS Energy start can, and we find the green.
An excellent start for Jaden Rogers. Gets a ton of grip on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to walk away in turns number 1 and 2.
Speaking of that, number 57, working to the inside, looking for the 2nd spot. Here comes Hoyer with a good run. Off at turn number 4. Does he have the runner-up spot? A little bit of bumper tag going on behind him. Leary and Maddox coming together. The 28 can have the advantage round of the front straightaway. Leary going to put her up at the cushion. Look out, Pretorius. Thought he was going to grab the wall there in turns 1 and 2. Brings it back into the racetrack under control. We stay green as it will be. The Midwest Downhill Services, Shane Wade, number 66, of Jaden Rogers in command.
Yeah, so Zach Pretorius, who was your fastest qualifier of this Steal It Heat Race number 5, gets up into the cushion, and the car just gets caught up, and he loses a ton of ground there.
So Rogers coming around with the race lead. Hoyer running in 2nd, just earned his quickest lap of this race. CJ Leary running in 3rd. Brandon Maddox right now with a final transfer. He has got Weston Gorham, who would start on the outside of the front row, trying to chase him down and get back into a transfer spot here. Look out behind them. Driver just about coming to a stop. That was Frankie Guarini running in the 6th position. Pretorius at 7. Davis, Hawkins, and Daugherty right now round at your running order as Leary trying to get a run to the inside through turns 3 and 4, looking for the 2nd spot.
Zach Pretorius railing the top side of the Kokomo Speedway, trying to make up any ground he can, knowing that if he sits in a transfer position, he will have a comfortable starting position in tonight's night number 1 of the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts Sprint Car Smackdown, but the top side becoming treacherous late in the going.
Boy, he just about skipped through her again that time through turns 1 and 2. Is up front. The pass for the 2nd spot has been made onto the back straightaway. CJ Leary working by Jack Hoyer, now adjusting his line a little bit up on the entry of 3. A little bit wider at the exit. Turn number 4 going to set his sights on Jaden Rogers with 3 to go. He trailed by a little shy of 7/10 of a second.
Brandon Maddox sitting in a comfortable 4th transfer position right now. He's kind of just riding it out, waiting to see what happens in front of him and hoping that Weston Gorham continues to keep that distance behind him. But Brandon Maddox looking to have a pretty good night number 1 at Smackdown.
Onto the back straightway, Gorham has company. Guarini, who had nearly spun it around a couple laps ago over turns 3 and 4, has reeled in the 71. So your time comes back with you, and also that finishing position will establish your starting spot within the semi-feature event as well. So not wanting to just ride this one as the white flag is flown, the checkered flag is out, and it will be the 66 of Jaden Rogers holding on for the race win. Traffic allowing CJ Leary to close in there at the end, but not able to get by. He'll settle for 2nd. Jack Hoyer, Brandon Maddox, your top 4 drivers moving on into your feature event. Weston Gorham crossing in 5th. Frankie Guarini, Zach Pretorius, Aaron Davis, Austin Hawkins, and Michael Daugherty unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he hails out of Worthington, Indiana. The Midwest Down Service, MM&R Trucking, Cheryl's Pest Control, Dan's Auto, Shane Wade Enterprises, number 66. Race fans, give him a hand, Jaden Rogers. As that'll wrap up heat race competition here on night number 1 of Elliot's Custom Trailers and Carts Sprint Car Smackdown. Down in Merchandise Row, Brady Bacon is down there signing autographs down at his souvenir trailer. So if you want to go down and get an autograph from the Macho Man and pick up some brand new Brady Bacon accessories, you can go down there now. He is signing autographs. Several drivers normally throughout the course of the night come up to their merchandise trailer. So head on back there. You never know who you might find. So here on the FloRacing broadcast, we're going to take a quick break in the action. We'll be back with more here on night number 1 from Smackdown.
This isn't a drill.